Hi guys, welcome to another episode of TC Talk. My name is Therese and thanks for stopping by. So today I wanted to talk about the concept of compartmentalization, and I'll do that by, starting off with a quote, which is something along the lines of get paid for what you love doing and you will never have to work a day in your life. And yeah, if you are a creative artistic person, say if you're a painter, you're a writer, you're an editor, you're a sculptor, you're a modeler, yeah, you may have come across this thought and it says, oh, if I can get paid for something that I enjoy doing, like your hobby, then you've got to make you're living the dream, right? Yeah, so here's the thing, a lot of you have done this and so have I, and then I realized that in many ways it's actually a trap. And what do I mean by this? So yeah, I'll give you an example. Like if I try to, I love, back in the day I used to love editing, like doing music video editing and all that stuff, because I used to find it very fun. And then I think it's just a different ball game, or a different ball game when you have to actually get paid for it. And for the most part it's probably because of dealing with clients, and it's not just your creativity. You have to work with deadlines, you have to all those sorts of things, which I quickly realized I was no longer enjoying it. And the last thing I wanted to do after a whole day of editing was my own spare time editing. And I think a lot of other creatives potentially face this. Like I know a friend of mine who's an animator and she gets paid to do animating, but after doing all the client work, you just find yourself so drained of energy that you have very little to spare for your own work. So I guess this is just food for thought for how to strike the balance with doing the stuff that keeps you alive, paying the bills, keeping a roof over your head if you're paying rent, and if you've got kids you have to take care of them as well. So yeah, just food for thought that it may not be for you that you have to get the most a job. It might not be the best idea for you to have a job that requires your creative output in the same way that you want to use your creative output for your own personal personal creative work. And yeah, I think it might be one of the reasons why a lot of people, even when they've gotten themselves a paid regular job in the film industry, for all intents and purposes they have made it, still feel very unfulfilled and feel unsatisfied. So yeah, how do you find that balance? What is the secret? I think there probably is none, but my recommendation amongst all of this is to do regular self-reflection about what sort of lifestyle works for you. And it might be the case that you have to choose like the job that's very, very mundane and boring just so you get the money to pay the bills, so, and also having the energy to actually still do the stuff when you come back home. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's a very short video. Yeah, please comment below, fellow creators and filmmakers, how do you do it? What is your strategy in all of this? Yeah, how do you still earn money to still eat and all that stuff while still being able to do your own passionate stuff that God knows nobody is getting paid for, even though we should. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Let me know and I'll see you next time.